I just want people to know. I'm so sorry. This is hard to talk about. I just want people to know that if I go missing, call the FBI. Because Gypsy Rose Blanchard is the one that did it. No, I've never had any interaction with her. But I'm pretty sure she stalks me from like 50 different accounts. Like, I've traced it back to her. So if I end up with her mom, know where to look.
And in this video, we're going to talk about a lot of lies, and I'm going to show you proof. You just heard her say that she didn't have any contact with me, although she hashtagged me in videos. She commented on my page. There is proof on my page if you want to see it. Receipts. What you just watched was Gypsy Rose Blanchard pretending to be me. Hi, Sweetest Honey here. People call me Sweets or Honey. I have been on TikTok for 5 years. I never decided to look into the true crime cases until I kept seeing repeatedly on my For You page one particular case, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And Gypsy Rose Blanchard was painted in a movie that I watched once called The Act on Hulu as a victim. So she had no other choice but to unalive her mother. After watching these videos, I started to wonder what people were talking about, but I wasn't really seeing evidence with my own eyes. I came over to start a new account and just start with reading her book. And just in reading her book, I was calling out lies. She literally lied from page to page. She wrote 2 books, which I didn't know at the time. I thought this was her very first book. And the first book was called On the Eve of Freedom. Now, if you go and look at excerpts from the first book, you can see that they are literally copied and pasted into her second book, even though now she's saying that her second book is not a true depiction and that the writers did whatever with it, but they're literally copied and pasted excerpts from one book to the other. So that doesn't make any sense. And she's saying that she's going to, quote, rewrite it. Then she has recently changed that into saying that she's writing a second book, which would actually be a third book, but a second book into her second book, which is My Time to Stand. I like to show evidence, and I have a team. My partner, Wicked, and I go live most nights, so feel free to come in, commentate, share your opinion. Anybody is literally welcome. And we opened that up because we wanted other people to feel like they had a place to speak and talk about a case, whether they be pro or anti-Gypsy. Now, in starting to read her book, Gypsy Rose Blanchard herself started to comment on my page. She made me very, very uncomfortable. Now, you got to understand, this is a murderer. And I was literally afraid. She literally had a cult of people come after me, make fake accounts of me. They admitted to it, but I fluffed her feathers so much that at, I think, 500 followers at the time, Gypsy Rose Blanchard made that video of me. She, in fact, did not like that I was calling out her lies. But what I'm about to show you is some clips of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Now, I do want to remind you some stuff that is not well known. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was not, in fact, a child when her mother was murdered. She was 23 years old. And her co-defendant was 26 years old. This was a grown woman. She had been talking to him for over 2 years. And the following videos are actually going to be her as a grown woman. A lot of people think she was an abused child. This is going to start to whittle at that theory. We can thank Into the Weeds podcast, which go follow them on YouTube. But I'm about to show you some interesting clips. I do want to say that this should not be for someone who is under the age of 18. That's my recommendation. Just a few months ago, Gypsy Rose had met some little girls on OM TV and brought them over to TikTok and literally followed them. Not only did she follow them, but she posted it to her story of her 9.5 million follower account. If you go and look at my page, you will literally find posts about this with proof. Because the one thing that I noticed a lot of creators weren't showing me was actual evidence and proof when they made their videos. So I like to show you rather than just tell you. But this Gypsy Rose case just keeps unraveling before our eyes, and it has been 10 years. So I'm going to show you this. I want to put a trauma warning on this video.
Feel like I'm linked to you, mind, body, and soul.
Let the manipulation begin.
I'll admit it, I have a habit of being kind of a know-it-all at times.
What? Take note, she's on the couch, not a wheelchair in sight, in regular clothing, which she said that she never had regular clothing. She wasn't allowed to walk even in her own house. And her mom forced her to dress androgynous or more like a boy. She had to shave her head because hair was not clean, even on her head. Even though her mom had hair on her head.
You are our master. You are responsible for us. You know, you're in charge of everything and you have complete control over us.
Notice she's telling him that he has control. By the way, this video is for Nick Godejohn, which is her co-defendant, the man who supposedly did the unaliving of her mother for her.
You're responsible for everything, our health, our safety, our happiness.
He is responsible for her happiness. And notice how she's saying our, because she's pretending that there are multiple people inside of her at this. Nick, that she would never be happy as long as she was under her mom's control. And the only way to release her was to take her mother's life.
Love like ours is very, very rare. I'm your slave. My sole purpose is to please you.
Got him.
And to love you and to keep you content and keep you happy. We are going to have a vampire wedding. And that night, we would have the most awesome, amazing wedding night ever. It's whenever we break out the handcuffs and rope.
Wait a minute. No, that can't be right. She said that her mother chained her to the bed. That would be extremely traumatic.
Chains. Having not only sex, but we'd be making love as vampire and human, as well as master and slave. I'm working very, very hard to become something very special called the seductress mother of the household. And right now I'm working to get my white collar. So there are color collars to gain up to that royal collar, which I can only get whenever we get married and I've completed my whole training. So, but I'm gonna get it. I am determined to get it, and I will get it. It's just a matter of when. So I had this vision. Well, Gypsy had this vision about me and you, and you was sitting on kind of like a throne. You had a black shirt and black pants, and I was right by your side, like right here, by your legs, and you had me on a chain, but I had my royal collar with a chain, and you had the chain in your hand, and we were just in a room full of people. I don't know, the dream doesn't have a lot of explanations or whatever, but that's all she saw, was that that I was the seductress mother and your queen and your slave right by you, serving you and being there if you need me. So I guess it will come true one day. If she had that vision, it'll come true. And you said that Nick had a similar vision, so one day it will happen. And our future together will be a bright one. I know that we want hopefully lots of children, and after we get married, we're gonna try and start right away, I hope. And the plan for if we have a boy first, we're gonna protect him and
I don't know.
Protect our children from the outside world, because they can't know about us. They can't know about you being a vampire. But we're gonna protect them and keep them educated on what not to say in front of people, and make sure that they understand the severity of keeping this secret. And if we have a girl, the way it has to be is, if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you, because you are the master of the household. So I'm gonna have to explain that to her whenever she comes of age where it's time to explain it. Other than that, like when she's 7, I won't explain that, but around 13, I'll explain. And also, if you ever need someone to, I guess, feed off of, but not kill, obviously, you know that I'll always give you my blood. You know that if you're ever weak, or if you're ever so weak that, you know, you can't move, or you're just really, really sick, don't worry. I'll give you my neck anytime you need. It is always yours, just as I am always yours. So I'm your woman, I'm your slave, and I'm proud to be. So happy anniversary, my amazing, wonderful master. And I look forward to many, many, many more of anniversaries and birthdays and just so many happy, romantic, sexy things to look forward to. So, happy anniversary, my darling master. I love and adore you so much. And I'm always dreaming and thinking about you.